All right. Good morning and welcome to the Minority Business Development Agency's virtual Subs and Sandwiches webinar. Today we have our very own Houston Community College Procurement Department with us. I am Marshette Turner, Director of the Houston MBDA. Our Subs and Sandwiches is one of our signature and premier programs, and we are always delighted to host you all and provide the best information out there so that not only are you informed, but you have opportunities as well. During today's webinar, all attendees will be in listen-only mode. There will be Q&A at the end of this session where my team and I will be asking the questions that you yourself type into the chat for HCC Procurement. As a reminder, this presentation is being recorded today. So, of course, we have Ms. Jessica Vasquez, who serves as our program coordinator, Ms. Deidre Sutton, who serves as our business advisor, and Ms. Tanya McGilbra, who also serves as our business advisor, as well as alumni client engagement specialist. So Ms. Veronica Douglas serves as the manager of small business development programs for HCC's procurement department. So I will now turn it over to you, Ms. Veronica.
All right, well, thank you. And it's always a pleasure to come here and address your members. The Houston MBDA Business Development Agency is one of my favorites to work with. So many members that come through your organization come through procurement and they do it right. And that's what we appreciate. So good morning. My name is Veronica Douglas and I manage a small business development program at HCC. I'm housed in the procurement department. So I work with the whole procurement team. So thank you for coming here today. I do have a lot of great information to share with you. So please listen closely and take the steps that we advise. So our agenda this morning, my presentation is fairly short because I would love to hear all of your questions. So please put them in the chat so we can make this as interactive as possible. So going through the agenda, the first thing we're going to do is virtually meet our team. I'll let you know a little bit about the makeup of the procurement group and how the Small Business Development Program fits into that group. We're going to talk about access to HCC, which is our signature procurement expo. We'll have a little high-level overview of the Small Business Development Program and talk about the certifications that we recognize. We'll talk about our bidder registration, which is Bonfire. Some of you are familiar with that from other agencies. What you really want to listen closely for is the current bid opportunities. These are bids that are on our website. I'll let you know exactly how to get there, how to download them. You'll also want to listen closely to our upcoming bid opportunities. I took some of our projects from our procurement plan, which is a plan that most government agencies release at the beginning of the year. So we're going to take a look at some of those opportunities. There's so many of them this year. And then lastly, we're going to talk about our catering program, which is known as America to Go. So if you are a catering vendor, you're going to want to listen to this. This applies only to catering vendors. All right, as promised, this is a look at our team, good looking group of folks. So this is the procurement operations team, as well as the Small Business Development Program. We are under the direction of Joseph Gavin. He's up there at the top, and then we're split into 3 groups. Operations is handled by Christopher Burton. Operations consists of vendor management. So when you have a question or problem with your vendor profile, you're going to be reaching out to Chris's team. Chris also manages our contracts. So if you have a question about a contract expiration or things of that nature, who was awarded a contract, that's handled under the operations side under Chris Burton. In the middle, you see Carrie Doucette. He is the director of sourcing. Sourcing handles, as you know, all of the procurements for the college. So you'll find senior buyers in there, buyers in there, and procurement assistants. They manage all of the procurements for HCC. And then lastly is myself, and I have a procurement assistant that works with me. Her name is Jasmine. Many of you may have seen her. Okay, this is a look at our access to HCC. This is the 8th year we've done this. We've held this expo. It's March 7th. What I didn't put on here is breakfast is at 8 a.m. Please do not show up at 9 a.m. We're starting the program at 9. It's going to start at 9. It's at the West Houston Institute. This is your opportunity to network and meet 31 of our HCC departments, including Houston. The MBDA Business Center will be there as well, but we'll have facilities department, human resources, communications, police, IT, Coleman College. All of these different departments within HCC have procurement opportunities. We're going to have the individuals there that know and understand their procurement needs for the department. So we're going to have 31 HCC exhibitors. We're going to have 15 community partners. Our community partners consist of Prairie View A&M, Houston Galveston Area Council, which is a cooperative agency, the Small Business Administration, which is really important to you if you're trying to get your business certified, Fort Bend ISD, Fort Bend Transit Authority. We have a wide range of exhibitors this year. Our keynote is Earl Granville. He is a retired staff sergeant. He's also an entrepreneur. This year, we also have a breakout session. Ashley Harrington is going to speak about the HCC procurement process and how your certifications can work with you. We have a ton of giveaways, exotic cars we're going to have out there this year. We're also going to be featuring a 18-wheeler. We're going to have an 18-wheeler parked out in the parking lot. As you know, HCC has over 100 programs for our students, and there's a lot of opportunities in each one of those programs. So we're hoping to bring out that 18-wheeler to allow people to take a real good look at, hey, HCC, you have truck driving. How can I fit in? Obviously trucks need repairs, maintenance, tires, windshields. There's all types of different ways that you can fit in with HCC. And so we're really trying to make a difference in allowing you to do business with us. So you can go to the next one. All right. And I know Jessica put the flyer in the chat, but this is just another look really quickly at, who is going to exhibit. And it's a free event, and we have had multiple success stories come out of our expo. Each year we started highlighting them via video because the relationships that are developed at this particular expo, they can't be matched. And we've seen that time and time again. So we like to highlight those as well. Okay, this is a look at the certifications that HCC recognizes. And this is important to you if you want to play in the procurement sandbox, per se. The Small Business Development Program is strictly that. It's a small business program. We're race and gender neutral. Our goal is 35% small business development program, small business participation across the college. We only recognize the certification from 6 agencies. We don't recognize hubs. We don't recognize HMSDC. We recognize the 6 that you see on the screen. From the city of Houston, we expanded it a little bit a couple years ago to also take the minority, the women, the person with disabilities, and the disadvantaged business enterprise certification. From the SBA 8A, we only recognize, the 8A certification. This is important for you to know because when you submit a bid, when you respond back on one of our projects at HCC, your certification has to be in play in order to receive the points, or the individual that you are subcontracting with, their certification has to be active at the time. Also, we monitor contract compliance. Please reach out to me or the Houston MBDA Business Center if you're currently working on a project with HCC and you run into any kind of hiccup. Let me know. We like to step in and help everybody as much as possible get through the process. Okay, so I get asked quite a bit, are you required to be certified to do business with Houston Community College? No, you are not required to be a certified small minority or women-owned business to do business with the college. Certification is very important because it allows you to receive additional points in a competitive procurement process. The top matrix, as you can see, it says evaluation criteria and available points. I like to tell people to look at the evaluation criteria as like the heart of your response. Right here, the college is telling you what is important to us based on the points that you're seeing. In this particular request for proposal, price is most important to us because you can see we're giving you 35 points for that. The next important thing to us is the propose, approach, and methodology. A lot of people respond to our proposals and they're totally overlooking how many points are for each evaluation criteria. Make your response strong by putting your best foot forward in the areas where there's the most points. So the small business development, the SBE practices and points come into play under section 4.4, which is small business program practices. On our proposals, we allow 15 points for small business participation. So in the second box, it lets you know, how do you get there? So how do you get there? So you can first get there by obtaining 10 points. How do you get the 10 points? There's a 25% subcontracting goal on this project, which means you must subcontract out at least 25% if you're not certified, or if you're certified, you automatically get 10 points. So again, this is different than any other agency in the area. We give extra points for two small businesses working together. So let me just say it one more time so everybody understands. If you are a certified small business bidding on one of our projects and there are SBE points available, you will automatically get the 10 points. If you are not a certified small business, in order to get those points, you're going to have to subcontract out the required percentage. Two certified small businesses together can receive 15 points, and that really makes a difference when it comes down to the bottom line when they're adding up all the points. I've seen people win and lose behind this little 15 points. So if you're a certified small business and you can find another certified small business to work with on projects, I really think that you should do that because 15 points is a lot in this game. All right, Jessica. All right, so moving right along, we're going to talk quickly about registering as a vendor, a bidder. You can do that on our website, which is hccs.edu/procurement. Our website was kind of redesigned a little bit, our page, about 6 months ago. So it has a facelift. It looks a whole lot better. So when you get on our website, you're going to click the first link, register as a bidder. And this is really important because so many agencies in the area are using Bonfire. There is a big misconception that you just fill out one application and that's going to cover you for every agency. That is not true. Each agency has their own vendor application, and each vendor application has different questions that they ask. So you have to make sure that when you're in Bonfire, as you can see, I highlighted our website, our logo. When you're in Bonfire, that you see our logo, that way you know you're in our page. I also like to tell people that when they create a vendor application or vendor profile, that they try to stick with one consistent email and receive all of your information through that one email, because if you're not keeping your information current in Bonfire, it's going to kick it back to us and we're not going to be able to contact you. Okay, so step 1 is put in your account information. Again, step 2 right here, just make sure that you keep this information up to date. That contact email is the most important. So you'll go through step 2, which is just basic contact information. Step 3, documentation. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. You have to make sure that you go through and you put in your W-9. That is required. SBE certification is not required. It's optional. If you have it available, upload it. If not, that's fine. Certificate of insurance, again, is not required. If you have it, upload it. If not, fine. Make sure you go through and go through those prompts and make sure they're green. Step 4 is very important. This is where you put your commodity codes. I suggest you pick at least 8 to 10 commodity codes because your code has to match the code that the buyer picks. So go through and do a keyword search or an NIGP code search and add the codes to your profile. And then step 5 is complete. So make sure that everything is green underneath all of the 1 through 5 because it'll get hung up in the system if it's not. Okay, so let's talk about the important stuff, the stuff that you guys want to hear about. These are projects that are currently out on our website. If you filled out a vendor application and you did not receive one of these emails for these projects, that means you're either not registered or you don't have the correct codes tied to your name. Okay, so the first project that we have available on our website right now is an RFP, and that's for commercial linen laundry service. It's due February 21st, and I believe that they are receiving these bids electronically now. It'll state online, I'm not sure, but I believe they're receiving them electronically. So we're looking for just what it states, someone to provide linen laundry services to us. The next one is an RFP for Laserfish upgrade and migration. We're looking for firms to help us with the upgrade and migration of the current laser software environment that we have. That's due on the 24th at 2 p.m. And we also have a RFP for course evaluation software. We're looking for someone to help us with a software that's going to help us evaluate each of our courses that we're holding at HCC according to the Texas law, and that's due on the 8th. There is Q&A periods for each one of these. So if you have a question, go online through Bonfire. That's where each of these are. Ask your question. If the Q&A period ended, ask your question anyway. If the question is going to significantly change your pricing or something like that, they're going to respond and the question is going to get answered. So if you have a question, please ask it. If you go online, I know that there is an area now where we're asking you to tell us if you're going to bid. Tell us, even if you're just looking, tell us that you're going to bid, because sometimes that closes. It's called the intent to bid. If it closes and you didn't tell us you're going to bid, you've missed out. If you say you're going to bid and you didn't bid, it's not held against you. So just go ahead and say you're going to bid and keep it open and decide in the meantime. Okay, next slide, Jessica. Okay, so these are more of our current bid opportunities. This morning we had a pre-bid meeting on this. Man, this is a popular project. It's an RFP for website redesign and development. We're looking for someone to help us redesign, develop, and deploy our new website. As I said, the pre-bid was this morning, so you can go online, look and see who attended. There was Q&A. There's going to be clarifications issued. Just because you missed the pre-bid does not mean that you missed out. Our pre-bids are not mandatory. The next one is a higher education non-credit continuing education. We're looking for someone to help us with a registration solution. That's due March 10th. And then the last one is the purchase and installation of police vehicle equipment, and that's due on March 10th. Okay, so this is our upcoming opportunities. There's quite a few. This is also known as a procurement plan in most agencies. They do a forecast at the beginning of the year to look and see what big projects they have that are going to go out. That helps the vendor prepare, because now you know what we're looking for in the future. You can go back and look on our website underneath the archive projects and get any of that information. Tabulation sheets, who bid on it, pre-bid sign-in sheets, all of that's available. So in the first quarter, we have some AV things, elevator modernization, that exterior Polyon monument signage, phase 3, that's a rebid. Look, if you're interested in that, you should go back to the archive bids tab. It's a rebid. You're going to go back and you're going to look at the old document. You can see who bid. You can see what they bid. You can find out what happened. I mean, that's a win right there if you're a sign company. Printing and mailing services, all of these are the first quarter. And these are just major projects. There's projects going out the door every day. In the second quarter, we're looking at automotive vehicle repairs. When you see the little asterisk, that indicates that these are new projects for us and we're developing the scope of work now. Job order contracting, tree trimming and maintenance services, pressure washing. Pressure washing, all of these are major projects for us, but you can go on the website now under archive bids and look and see who's been awarded these contracts, what facilities that covers, what's the square footage, how many years has it been in place. You can sharpen your pencil by just going and doing a little bit of homework. And then we're looking at police and security uniforms and related items. For the third quarter, we're looking at structured cabling services, employee assistance program services, optional retirement plan, 403B and 457, parking lot and parking garage cleaning services. Again, go to the archive bids tab, look and see, what's the size of our parking lots? What's the size of our facilities? Who was awarded the structured cabling before? security guard services. These are things in the third quarter. And lastly, as we round out the fourth quarter of 2023, armored car services. We've had a real hard time trying to find someone to help us with the armored car services. HCC has a few cafeterias. We don't have a lot of money. And so Brinks and some of those bigger companies, they want to make bigger deposits. They want to pick up more money. So that's been a real kind of trouble spot for us. So if you can help us with that, or you have a solution for that, it's going to be a win for you. External auditing services. We've had a lot of great auditors, little auditing agencies come through and do some work for us. Background check provider services. Again, the background check provider services, that is a new scope of work. So when these documents go out, this is the first time we're doing it. If you can advise us, if you can say, hey, you know, this is no longer what they're doing in the market, or I can provide this service, leverage what you can do for us. Help us to put out the best document so that we get back the best response, so that we're getting back the best service or product for the college. So when you see something that's new, like an event equipment and rental services, we've been trying for several years now to find someone help us build parade floats, something as simple as a parade float. That's why vendor registration is very important. We go to our vendor database and we just can't find anybody. IT hardware recycling, and then pest management. And those are the major projects that we have. And that's not everything on the procurement plan. I just took out a few things. Our procurement plan is way bigger than that. And lastly, America to Go. America to Go is our on-site catering program. The college as a whole, even while virtual, we still spend over $1 million on food every year. So if you are a caterer, or you know a caterer that is interested in providing their food to HCC, please have them register with the America to Go program. It's free for them to sit in the portal. However, there is a charge for it, because America to Go essentially monitors the insurance, the menus, make sure the vendors are meeting all their requirements with their permitting. So that's free to us, but the charge is passed on to the vendor. So basically, depending on how big your order is, dollar amount wise, a percentage of that is paid to America to Go for this service. But you can sit in the portal all day. I advise everybody, go ahead, get on board with America to Go. If you never receive an order, you never receive an order. Your name is still out there. Your restaurant's still out there. Definitely look into it. As I said, we spend over $1 million a year on catering, and we just had a tasting, and we're going to start doing that throughout the year. Have a couple more, and a tasting is essentially where the caterers that are in the America to Go portal, which I believe there's about 60 of them, they have an opportunity to come out and allow the HCC departments and programs to try their food. And that is it for us. This is our contact information. We've moved to constant contact, and we're trying to get everybody that's interested in staying in contact with us to that platform. So please, if you go to our website, please sign up for our constant contact. We're no longer sending out anything on B2G, which is the platform that we used to use previously. So we want to make sure that we can keep up with everybody, because we have a lot of programs that we're offering, and training and networking opportunities. And that's it for me. I'm more than happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much, Veronica. We do appreciate all that good information. And Tanya, I see that we do have a couple of questions in the chat. So if you could start that process, please.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Here's a question. The website states that registrations are closed for the expo on the 9th. Please advise on how many may attend, I guess, from your organization, and an email address, phone number rather, has been provided.
I'm going to look into that. It shouldn't be closed. If you can email me your email address, we can get that. I'll go ahead and register you, but I'll make sure that it's not closed. It shouldn't be closed. There is no limit on the registration. We've previously had 250 people come through the door, and we want 250 people plus to come through the door. So if you can email me your information, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and register you, but I'll also check to make sure that that is open. It should be open.
Here's another question. When do you use 18-wheeler trucks for hauling products?
I mean, we have moved things, not necessarily via 18-wheeler, but we've used a rocket to move. That's a moving company. And at some point in time, I would imagine that procurement would go back out for bid. We're using a rocket from a cooperative, but we do move things from one campus to the next, or from one campus to the auction. That's more so like a box truck, not an 18-wheeler. We have had to have cranes moved. So we have used big trucks to move things, but not necessarily 18-wheelers. Now they use 18-wheelers in the truck driving school. I know we've purchased them, and they've probably, disposed of them, probably via auction. I hope that answered the question. If not, let me know.
Could you also please share more information on the financial advisory and your EAP services?
The only information I can share on that, and you're more than welcome to also send me an email. You may want to perhaps do an open records request so that you can see who's currently awarded it and take a look at, what we're currently paying for those services. Both of those projects are through talent engagement. I know their services we're currently using, so you could go to the archive bids tab, probably have to look back maybe 2 or 3 years to get that information. So you could look back there. All they'll probably do is revise the scope a little bit and put it out to bid. But at this point, that's all I know about those projects. But I advise going to the archive bids tab, looking for those projects so you can look at the document. You can see who it was awarded to, how long the award was in place, what the dollar amount was. And then if you don't see everything you're looking for, you can always do an open records request and ask to see, a tab sheet or something that's not online. And that's going to help you bid on the project and determine, do you want to bid on it? Can you bid on it? That's going to really help. And you have the time to do that now.
Are you aware of any current opportunities for corporate wellness through chair massages or ergonomic analysis?
When we were in person, I saw a little bit of that. But since we have been home, I haven't seen that. It seems like pre-COVID, we were doing that. People were getting assessed, people were getting better chairs, people were getting very desks. And then now that we're home, I'm not seeing it as much. However, we do have through the talent engagement department benefits, and they also manage our wellness. So perhaps they would, do like a lunch and learn at some point in time, and allow someone like you to come in and provide the benefits to the college about your services. But currently, I don't believe we're using those services, only because we're so fragmented. Everybody is basically home, but a few people in the office every once in a while. Still go online, still register as a vendor, still choose all those commodity codes that are related to your business. We put out information that the Houston MBDA sends us, when we put out flyers for the city of Houston. So get on the vendor registration list, because you're still going to see opportunities that you may not see otherwise.
I don't see any more questions. You guys, please, if you have questions, please type those in the chat. We want to make sure that we answer your questions as thoroughly as possible while we have Ms. Veronica here with us.
Veronica, are there any opportunities for cleaning services at either one of our campus locations, or is that pretty much sealed?
Then now that's going to go back out for bid, I believe. It may have been extended one additional year, but it will go out. I mean, they are at the 5 years with that. I think they just executed the additional year, but it is going to go out. Again, go back on, under archive bids tab, and it'll tell you when it's expired, but I believe they just extended it for the final option. So it will go out to bid again. And that is a bid that we put out ourselves. It's not a co-op, or nothing like that. It's going to have a small business goal on it with the required participation. So you can find all that information under archive bids on our website.
And another question, Veronica, are there any opportunities for workforce development, team and executive coaching and at HCC?
There are, and in that area, you almost kind of have to market yourself individually. That's why the expo is really good. So you can come and market your services to each one of these programs and areas. Otherwise, you're going to be marketing yourself via email or cold calling because nobody's at the building. But there are, and that's under $50,000. So typically that's not something you're going to see go out to bid. That's more of a personal thing where you have developed a relationship with whoever in the department and you say, hey, we've drawn up this, solution to get your executives and all these people coached up and everybody's going to be so great. And that's kind of how that forms. Now, under $10,000, a department can contract direct. We all know what that means. Between 10,000 and under 50,000, they're required to get quotes. So if that's the service that you provide, I would come to our expo, or I also do some research on our website to see who you can connect with, who those executives are, and just start soliciting them that way. That's going to be your best bet because we don't put out bids for those services because of the dollar value.
I completely agree with you, Veronica. I think attending the expo, you put yourself in front of the very folks that you want to do business with. And people tend to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So I think the expo is a perfect place, for you to show up, Ms. Livingston, and, sort of pitch your business. Another question is, how often does HCC look for outside AV services?
Oh, more and more. I mean, on the procurement plan, you saw that there was 2 there. We're getting a hold of things that are going on. Previously, something may go wrong in one of the theaters, or a lamp might go out, something might go out like that, and facilities or department would just get it fixed. We're getting a real hold of, what our AV needs are. So we've put out, I know, at least 4 last year, quotes or bids, one of the 2. We've put out solicitations for that. There's also 2 solicitations that I remember on the procurement plan. They may have already gone out or they're in the process of going out. I do know that there are AV upgrades that need to take place, and I'm pretty sure that they're assessing that now so that they can keep the campuses up to standards and make sure that we have the latest and greatest AV in our facilities. So that is something that you will see go out. If those 2 that are on there haven't gone out already, they will be going out. And as I said, I've heard talk about different things that need to be upgraded within the campus to meet the AV needs and the technology needs, for our students.
Okay. Any other questions you see, Tanya or Deidre?
Yeah, there are a couple of questions from Mr. Hill. Looks as if he is a startup company and he is interested in learning more about certifications. What we can do, we can send you some information directly to our MBDA Pandemic Recovery Center, and they can reach out to you and possibly provide you with some needed information or valued information.
Yeah, and we also have an MBDA Amplified who can do the same. So yes, we certainly have those resources available.
Get as many of those certifications as you can and let everybody know you have them.
Absolutely. And I think Mr. Hill also asked, will there be people at the expo to help you fill out forms? I don't think so, but Veronica, I'll defer to you.
There's no, forms. Maybe if you're talking about a vendor application, we will have on-site vendor registration. You can do that on your phone. If you're going to try to register as a vendor in our bonfire on-site, you're going to need your tax ID number. You're going to have to do some upload downloads on your phone. So, I mean, we can help you through that most definitely. And we have computers that will be set up, but in order to complete that, make sure you have your tax ID number and make sure you're able to go in and upload and download any forms that you need to, but we will have computers. Other than that, there's no forms that would need to be filled out as it pertains to HCC and doing business with us.
Okay. And then what do you recommend that they bring to the expo? Should they bring a capability statement or what? Business cards? All of
Both.
the above?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
capability statement, business cards. Think about, who you want to meet with before you get there, because there's never enough time. 9 to 12 seems like a long time. It's not. So kind of go through and think about, when you arrive, who do I want to meet with even before that, and hit the most important people first, because there's never enough time. But make sure you have that capability statement and make sure it says clearly how we contact you, even your business card. Some people give me their business card, I can't even read their email address. So make sure whatever you're handing out, it clearly states who you are, what you do, how we can contact you, what certifications you have. If you're currently working with Metro or the city, make that clear, because we can use interlocal agreements. So if you have a contract with the city of Houston and it's for a service or a product that we need, we could piggyback off that contract. If you have a contract with Metro and it's for a service or a product that we need, we could piggyback off that contract. If you're a prime contractor and you have a co-op contract for whatever service or whatever, we can use that. So that's information that gets you around all this quoting, bidding, XYZ, and gets you right into the process. So make sure if you've gone through the work and you have a contract with one of these agencies that you use that in your benefit to get in the door with us. Because we piggyback off contracts, we use interlocal agreements, we do all that good stuff. But it's up to you to tell us, because we don't know that.
Right, absolutely. Okay, are there any more questions? All right, I don't see any in the chat. Well, we are giving you all some time back this morning. Thank you so much, Veronica. I always love when you're with us. I mean, you give such great information, and you're a part of the team. And so we are always excited to have you to present to our clients or our business community rather, and clients, because we know that the information is good. We know that it's solid. And so we certainly thank you for this time with us this morning, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank
So
you.
much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day,